across.
It'll go a long way to securing the game.
Yes, they can waltz in and ice it. The Flames are back on the winners list.
This time she lets it fly. McConnell, Boulays. She is unstoppable.
Friday night hoops in the Harbour City. Two last start winners in the Sydney Flames and the Bendigo Spirit doing battle as players and coaches check in. Thanks to Minor Hotels, the Flames coming off an overtime win on Wednesday against the Geelong Venom that'll have them full of confidence. The Spirit have won their last couple and they hit the road for the second time this year and head to Sydney to take on the Flames tonight. Semi-finalists last year, Bendigo's won the past 6 between these two teams. The Flames hoping to break that winless run this evening. Great to have you with us on a Friday night in the WNBL for round 7. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole and Damon Lowry with you in commentary. Beck, this should be a fun little matchup.
It sure will. It's a morale-boosting win for the Sydney Flames, but now they have to back it up. 2 days later, will they last the 40 minutes?
And a little bit of change for Bendigo this week, Damon. Some exciting news. Mariana Tolo and her partner Dan expecting a baby, but that means they've got a bit of work to do to reshuffle the deck chairs.
That's it, yeah. Mariana's with child, so they're going to have to do some heavy lifting amongst the group. They're going to have to all pitch in and make up for 13 points and 7 rebounds. Let's see if they can get it done.
Indeed. Let's head inside the Sydney Flames camp to start with Carly Wilson, who's courtside for us this evening and caught up with Izzy Morgan.
Well, Izzy Morgan, it's your first season out of college and in the WNBL. How are you finding it so far?
I'm loving it. Obviously, playing back home in Sydney is really special to me because this is where I'm from. But it's been unreal, honestly. Like, the people are what make it. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better team and coaching staff. So I'm really excited for the rest of the season for sure.
Well, it's probably not your preferred position, but with Ollie Apupa out with the concussion, are we going to see you in the point guard spot a bit more tonight?
I think so, definitely. Guys obviously asked me to kind of fill that role a little bit more coming off the bench. But I played point guard at college all 4 years, so it's something that I'm really excited to expand in my game in the WNBL. To be playing point is really exciting for me, and I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to be doing so.
Yeah, wonderful. I spoke to Keely Froling before the game and she gave you a glowing review. She said that you really bring a lot of leadership. Is that something that you're focused on to bring in your first season?
I think I always have been quite a vocal person. So honestly, I think that the leadership we have in the team is unbelievable. So it really does empower everyone to kind of use their voice. And I think that's really kind of helped me to be vocal and be loud, be energetic where the team needs me to be. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Great to have Izzy Morgan with us pre-game. Been a spark plug off the bench for the Sydney Flames so far this season. For the Bendigo side of things, well, there is a little bit of a reshuffle to do. Mariana Tolo not out there with the team tonight, but she did catch up with Carly.
Mariana Tolo, big news for you this week. You won't be playing the rest of the season, but it is exciting news.
Yeah, my husband Dan and I are very excited to be expecting our first child come May next year. So I'm pregnant and unfortunately I won't be playing the rest of the season, but it is very exciting for us.
So how's your body been feeling? How are you feeling? But how's your body been coping with being a professional athlete, but also growing a little baby?
Yeah, it's actually been a bit of a whirlwind. Kelly Wilson was one of the first people I spoke to, and unfortunately for her, she was sick throughout her whole pregnancy. I didn't have the same thing, which was very lucky and fortunate, I think. So I've been feeling pretty good. Towards the end though, like a bit of pelvic girdle pain, and my Achilles actually started getting sore again. So yeah, it was time to hang the boots up for the rest of the season, but fortunately I was able to sneak in the 250 games.
Well, on behalf of the whole basketball community, congratulations. We can't wait to meet the little lady, but with your genes, she's probably not going to be very little.
No, I'm sure she'll come out a giant.
Congratulations, thank you.
Thanks.
Five-time champion, 250 games for Mariana Tolo, and her influence on the group, even though she's not out there, will continue to be profound, no doubt. Let's check in with the final member of our team. We've got championship experience courtside this evening in Carly Wilson. Good evening, Carly.
Good evening, Joel. Well, Sydney have certainly still got a bit of a spring in their step after that important win on Wednesday night here in overtime. They played with a lot of guts and determination in that game. Let's see if they can continue that momentum here tonight. They've got a big opportunity ahead of them to really send a message to the rest of the league if they can get the win against one of our league leaders in the Bendigo Spirit.
Indeed they do. It will be a stern challenge. Looking forward to hearing more from you throughout the evening, Carly. So the same starting lineup for the Flames that stepped out there on Wednesday. Nicholson, Swain, Cam, Thompson and Froling. That overtime win over Geelong at 97-94. The change for Bendigo, Damon, is that Olivia Pollard, the youngster in her first pro season, steps into that starting lineup. She started a couple of games already this year, and she fills the void of Mariana Tolo.
Yep, she's not going to be expected to do what Mariana Tolo did on the glass and probably block a couple of shots a game, but expect her to let some of those 3 balls fly and get on the rim and make things happen.
How do you think Bendigo might change things up, Beck? I mean, do you think they go smaller, or does Kelsey Reese at a bigger spot play more minutes? Like, if you were Kennedy Kerryama, what would you be leaning into game plan-wise?
I'd be leaning into their small ball, because even their guards and Isabel Borlase, Abby Werung, they're big, strong, athletic guards. Then you have the like of Griffin, who is so experienced, as well as what she can do on the floor in that 4-5 position. I would like to see them run the floor a little bit more. Maybe they extend into a full court press.
They've got some who are ready to step up, potentially, and it will be Pollard who contests the opening jump against Thompson. Sydney start with the rock, winners on Wednesday, as we said, to notch up another victory on their campaign in the early part of this season. Thompson was the hero that sent it to overtime, and is immediately called for a walk, having gone up and down with it to start. So 3-6 on the season, the Flames. They've struggled at the offensive end, but they found a bit of a groove on Wednesday, which Guy Malloy would have been happy with. Speaking of finding a groove, Izzy Borlase has been on a tear all season.
Cookies.
Terrific defensive play there from Swain, taking it away from Griffin, tossing it inside for Thompson. Swain was a key facilitator on Wednesday night. Nicholson had a massive second half, and that's an uncharacteristic turnover.
And Bendigo's spirit early, first 2 possessions, have caused Flames to turn over the ball. I'm really liking their defensive pressure right now.
It's where their bread's buttered Bendigo at that end of the floor. They don't play a high-paced game, but they just grind you down. And then they've got an absolute weapon on the offensive end in Izzy Borlase, who swings across court to Werung. McConnell inside, Pollard tosses it against the backboard and gets it to go for the opening points of the evening.
Everybody got a touch, great ball movement, all started by Isabel Borlase. Moved the ball on, and Olivia Pollard gets her first bucket. Not of the season, but today.
Can lobbed it over the outstretched arms of Griffin, and Froling on the take, getting all the way through to open Sydney's account.
And it's so good to see Froling back in her form. Last game against the Venom, she had 24.7 rebounds, much more to her standard than what we've seen early in this season. So if she can get going, she'll be that extra addition the Flames really need on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, she's been struggling to shoot the ball, just 31% over the course of the season, but we know what she can bring to the table, particularly from that rebounding perspective, and that might be a challenge for Bendigo now. Without Tolo out there, you know, Kelsey Griffin's averaging double-digit rebounds, but there's going to have to be a couple more that step in to fill that void. As KG hits one from outside.
KG 23 with the fake handoff into the 3-point shot. This is where we see Griffin start to find her form. Now with Tolo out, she's a 4-5 man who needs to step up again, and then Lauren Nicholson gives her one back.
Good to see Laws, because last game she got off to a very slow start as Isabel Borlase goes for another deuce. But if Laws Nicholson can be aggressive early instead of late, it'd be much preferred.
Shooting at 45% from downtown this season is Nicholson, so she's been operating at a really good clip. Swain drops it off, Froling underneath, sees the double, tosses it off the underside of the rim. Swain finds some space, pull up, no good. Froling pulls it down, puts it back in, no. We'll have another crack. And saw some contact in there, was fouled.
And Froling just doing a great job not giving up till the play is over, going after those offensive rebounds. And that's why she's such an asset on that end of the floor.
Averaging a couple of offensive boards a game is Keely Froling, 83% foul shooter so far this season. Cashes the first one in.
And KG got to be real smart, Beck. You cannot get in any foul trouble because there's not a lot of size, if any, on the bench. I'm going to need at least 30-plus minutes out of Kelsey tonight.
Down 251 for KG. Of course, she and Tolo celebrated that milestone in Terrelgan last Sunday as Werung skips through the defence.
What a great hesitation dribble from Werung. Got the defender to come out of their stance. And we know going left, she's money every day of the week.
So Bendigo's 9 points. Each of Pollard, Werung, Borlase and Griffin have made a basket to start. It's only McConnell among the starters who hasn't troubled the scorers as yet. Borlase in attack mode. Ran into a dead end. Here is McConnell. That one won't fall, but it'll stay in yellow. Early 3-point lead to Bendigo. Friday night hoops in the WNBL. Here in round 7. Pollard lines up a 3. That falls to Werung. Another offensive rebound for the Spirit. 3 in the early going. Now Borlase up top. Going to have to heave this one in hope. Oh, Izzy Borlase, what can't she do?
It's after 5 p.m. and the bank is still open.
Oh, wow. That was good D by Keely Froling, too. That's just a hello. Lord Nicholson comes back, makes her second 3-ball. They're not even giving us a chance to talk about the previous good play. This is happening that quick.
They've gone back-to-back buckets a couple of times in. Very quickly have the Flames 2 of 2 from outside and haven't been a good 3-point shooting team this season. Borlase gets to her spot, turnaround will go.
And that is great defense by Loz Nicholson. She's one of the great two-way players of the league, but that is just better owned by Borlase. And with her strong body, she can do that against other guards inside.
Sandy Brondello in the house this evening. No doubt that the two of them will be in Opal's contention as they have been previously. Griffin running the middle of the floor. Pollard's just going to walk into a triple.
And you said it early, Damon. You were expecting her to hit them triples and not be shy about it.
Little lefty sniper in training.
19% 3-point shooter on the season, Liv Pollard, but shot it really well at college in Santa Clara. Shot 43% in her junior year. And now McConnell forces the turnover. Bendigo are up and running early. Meg McConnell up the other end, had it blocked, got it back, ran to the corner, fired the 3 and cashed it. And Bendigo are out by 11.
That has to be on the highlight reel. McCann with what oh, look, Borlase again. Bank shot, but that is why you need to box out. 2 offensive rebounds led to that shot.
We needed to get a look at it on the Amy replay because they didn't give us much time to talk about it in the moment. And since then, these two teams have just come out throwing flames. Although Bendigo have had a few more of them than the team you think might have.
That's what we thought. I mean, they're shooting 67% for the field already. You would say it's some good defense being played, but good offense, like you said, Beck, always beats good D.
So 20-9, 4 minutes 20 to go in this opening term. Joel Peterson, Beck Lowry, and Damon.
Beck Lowry.
And Damon Lowry. Oh, gee,
Beck Lowry.
I've done something there. Okay, I'm going to cut both of you off. We need to hear from Guy Malloy, who caught up with Carly Wilson pre-game.
Yeah, well, Izzy killed us when we played in Bendigo back in round 2 or something like that. She had a great first half, and we didn't guard her very well. We definitely need to put attention into that. Yeah, I think, Lauren's probably the ideal one. She's got a big load for us because she's got a score at the other end as well, but she's such a great pro that we think she'll get it done.
So there you go. That's how Guy Malloy is going to tackle that assignment of defending Izzy Borlase tonight. I'm going to tackle the assignment of undoing my damage by apologising to Daniel and Lisa right here on the broadcast right now. I know you'll be watching at home. I've tried to marry off my 2 colleagues here, which isn't totally advisable as Froling misses a 3 and the rebound falls underneath to Emma Nopu, who came in and played some really important minutes for them on Wednesday. Her offensive rebounding was something that Guy Malloy spoke about in the aftermath of that game of being really important for Sydney.
Yeah, sorry, Beck. Yeah, Agnes is definitely a high-energy type player. Defensive hustle, non-stop, offensive rebounds. And you can't disrespect her on the three-point line either.
A little bit of a change of role for her as well, having played a lot of her college ball in the post and now operating mostly on the wing is McSpadden, who found a little bit of shooting touch on Wednesday, continues that here and cuts that lead back to 9. Bendigo out 22-11. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this opening term. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry with you on this Friday evening in the WNBL. Let's check in courtside with Carly Wilson.
Hey team, Sydney timeout was as always cool, calm and collected, but Guy Malloy called for his team to get into offense much quicker than they are. He said they're taking too long to get that first action underway, wasting too much of the shot clock. He said to them, look guys, defensively we have to get back to the basics and stop their offensive rebounds. We can't keep giving them more bites of the cherry. I don't know if you guys can see in the studio, but Bendigo's bench are up and about tonight. They are riding every single play and every single shot. They will be just as tired as the 5 on the court right now.
And Carly just mentioned there as well about guys saying they want you to get back on defense quicker, but look at that tough finish from Meg McConnell. Bendigo Spirit are going to need more of that from her. But the hard thing is, when you don't get stops, you're then having to take the ball out of bounds and then you're slowly bringing the ball up the floor. So the Sydney Flames just need to get some stops happening early so they can start to run the floor. But what a finish by McConnell there.
And Izzy Morgan's just got to do a better job of just keeping that ball in front of her. She's got the point guard duties out there on the floor. And in transitions where it's most important, because you got to stop the ball or it's going to be a fast break.
As you saw on screen there, McConnell was terrific last time out against Sydney back in round 3, 21-4-6. Izzy Borlase led the line with 26 for Bendigo on that occasion. Nicholson had 27 in that early burst that she had to start the season. Bendigo 22-11. Here's Booth in the corner. That one won't fall. Froling wants to run the floor. 2-on-2 situation. Gets the switch onto Booth on the block. Pass inside, taken away by Griffin, who's been taking people's lunch money for years. Offloading it to Booth, can't finish. Griffin goes up for the O board. And just pulled up a little bit sore there, KG. Looking for a call, doesn't get it. Emma Nopu, strong take, and some more lunch money, thank you.
Cookies, yeah, they got to take care of the ball now. We don't have excuses, do we, Beck? Now, Sydney obviously played 48 hours ago, but nobody cares. And right now, they just turn the ball a little bit loose with the ball.
They've already got 5 team turnovers, Damon, so Guy Malloy will not be happy with that to end the first quarter.
Time winding down, McConnell jacks it. And that one was left short. Meg McConnell's going to get a rest. Micah Simpson coming back in, or coming into the game, I should say, for Bendigo. You can see at the back there, a well-credentialed team manager this evening for Bendigo in Mariana Tolo, handing out the drinks and the towels.
Now that's a leader for you, right?
Well, the good thing is she can probably reach right down to both ends of the bench at any given time, Damon. So the wingspan is important in that position. 22-11, just doing whatever she can to keep having a positive impact on this team. Nicholson stepping through, can't finish. Has to put the head down and get back on defense. Emma Nopu comes up with the turnover. They're both tossing it away, these two teams. 3 ball is up and not falling for Norris. And Bendigo can settle back in at the offensive end.
She's got to send a double.
KG to the corner for Booth. 3 ball, no good. Kelsey Reese with the offensive rebound. She wants to go back up and in and was fouled.
What do you think about the matchup, Beck? Young Kelsey Reese and Laura McSpadden. I feel like when Laura sets those ball screens and rolls right down the middle, I would like to back Laura on the younger Kelsey Reese, and that's with all the respect in the world, but I feel like that could be an advantage.
I couldn't agree more. McSpadden is actually one of the best bigs in the league right now of setting a screen for her guard and just rolling exactly where you need her to, down in the center of the key to the basket. And I think she has a bit more muscle, a bit more size. She's been in the league for longer. And you see her mindset right now is I'm going to be a scorer and I want the ball. So I would like them to look at Lara more.
You've had that QR code on your screen. Of course, WNBL.com.au, all your tickets and live stats, behind-the-scenes info. This WNBL season, stay closer than ever. WNBL.com.au is the place to go. There's plenty of games coming up across the Christmas period. Great affordable family fun. As nice take from Morgan, stepping through, getting to the left hand, cutting that lead back to 11, under a minute to play in this opening term. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry and Carly Wilson with you. Friday night hoops from the Harbour City. Sydney hosting Bendigo. Bendigo get another offensive look here. 6 offensive rebounds apiece in this opening frame. Simpson goes to the reverse and finishes. Tough.
Reverse on the right, change of hands to finish with the left. That was a nice shot.
Kennedy Kerryama loves the decision-making ability of Micah Simpson out of that pick-and-roll situation. Showed that she's right at home there. 6-second difference shot to game clock, or a little bit more than. Eminopu attacks the closeout, tosses it out wide. Norris can't keep it alive.
I like to see Agnes shoot that 3-ball. You got to close out. It was a short closeout. I know the scouting report might say let Agnes take that shot, but I want to see her back herself in that situation. She's capable.
Bendigo up by 13. What can they come up with to close the term? Werung to Simpson. 3-ball won't score, but it's a dominant offensive term to start for the visitors. The Bendigo Spirit out by 13 at the end of one. They lead it in Sydney, 26-13. Bendigo Spirit jumping out to an early lead in Sydney on Friday night hoops. It's the Spirit 26 leading the Flames 13. They've won the past 6 matchups between these two teams, including by 13 points earlier in the season back in round 3. And the Spirit hold a decided advantage off the back of some Izzy Ball Ace fireworks again in that opening term. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole and Damon Lowry with you on Friday night hoops. Carly Wilson is courtside. We'll check in with Carly very shortly as Bendigo get us going to start this second term. Ball Ace inside. That one rolls off the rim. And now Can races up the floor. Create an open look for Nicholson, and that is money for Loz.
And I feel like that's where Loz is good in transition. When she's playing with a point guard that can push the ball up the floor and Loz can get off the ball and get to her mid-range areas and attack closeouts back, I feel like that's when she's at her best.
And she is a three-way scorer. She can do it from three-point land, get in the basket, mid-range, but she's averaging just under...
Oh, Kelsey Griffin, circus shot.
People are just doing two-quarter plays. We can't talk about what's happened at the other end. That is impressive in the post, Griffin.
Bit of Friday night live action tonight. The fireworks are all coming out. Bendigo out by 13. Carly, what did Kennedy Kariyama have to say at quarter time?
He was very complimentary of the Spirit's defense. He said, great job staying up and in on Nicholson and making it difficult for her. And he wants them to stick with icing the on-ball. So what they mean by icing, I'm not sure if we've discussed it too much, but it's really denying that on-ball screen, not letting them use it, making them dribble to the baseline instead. So very happy with their defensive efforts so far. But offensively, look for them to run a few more on-balls now, and he wants that attacking Lara McSpadden as the big in the on-ball.
Great explanation. Thank you, Carly. Turnover again for the Flames. That is 8 in the early going, and it's pretty quickly becoming a problem for Guy Malloy-Beck.
It is. They need to look after the ball, because if they're turning the ball over, you're giving Bendigo more second chance points and you're getting less time in the offensive end. So they just need to settle down, execute, and go back to the basics.
Bendigo 8 second chance points to 2 in that opening frame. 12 points in the paint to Sydney's 4. McConnell out wide is Borlase, who didn't like it out of the hand. Came in straight away to try and grab the offensive rebound. They had 6 in that opening term, the Spirit. Sydney had 7. Bendigo 4 of 12 from outside so far. And that one will go down from Can, and they might force the turnover, so they get an extra possession here, Sydney.
Good job by McCann taking that open 3 ball. She hit a couple in the last game 48 hours ago. Good to see her backing herself. And then causing a steal.
And that's the right decision. Her defender went under the screen, so she had plenty of time and space to get that 3 off.
Stepping into the starting lineup to replace Olivia Apupa, who remains out with concussion. Foul going against Pollard there by the looks, as Guy Malloy watches on courtside.
I'd like to see him try to get Unique Thompson more involved. No points after the first quarter, after the game that she had in the game winner. And Mama's still in the crowd. She's still here. She don't want to see her baby go scoreless.
She's got 3 to start. Here's Unique Thompson. She's got 3 rebounds, 2 at the offensive end. Froling's got 3 and 5 boards for Sydney so far. Griffin trying to tap it off. Thompson out of play. They'll turn it over again here, the Flames. That's 9 in a quarter and 2 minutes. Bendigo rolling with Borlase, Wareham, Pollard, Griffin and McConnell. So the 5 starters back out there for the Spirit, as they are for Sydney, with Pittman joining that starting group. 3 on the shot clock now, racing through the defense. McConnell can't finish. Good defense from the Flames on that possession. Can tosses it inside, looking for Thompson. Right on cue, Damon, right on the money.
Great seal. Good job by Unique Thompson running the middle of the floor, posting up right underneath the basket. And great job by McCann finding her.
So Unique Thompson gets that to go, and Sydney have carved back into the margin. They trail by 8 with 7:14 remaining in quarter 2. So the Flames still having their issues turning the ball over, been able to knock down a few shots, which has eluded them so far this season. They have not been a high-powered offensive team, but you would imagine that Guy Malloy would be pretty pleased with the response that he got out of his group at quarter time back.
You have to have the mindset of you're not giving up, you're not slowing down, you've got to take each possession as it comes, and you've got to keep fighting it. But I have to say, Bendigo's Spirit is sticking to their scout. Carly spoke about it before, icing those screens, making it hard for Loz Nicholson. They're only shooting the 2 ball at 33%. Really, the only open ones are from the 3-point line, which have been the right shot at 43%. So they've just got to execute their offense.
Not a lot of foul shots for either team so far, only the 5 between them.
With all this, sorry, Joe, with all this icing of the ball screens, Beck, how would you attack it? How would you attack that particular ball screen defense?
Either I get my big man to switch their body around and change the angle of the screen, or what a lot of them doing are using it and kicking it back. But I love just passing it straight into the post and doing a pinch action. I can run off it, I can go set an away screen, but make the defenders have to defend you. Don't go where they want you to.
Griffin on the kick out to McConnell. Another O-board for Bendigo. That's 7 in the game. This one fell to Borlase. Let's have the analysis of Damon Lowry and Beck Cole. Pollard in the corner. That one was no good. Borlase almost controlled it again, but that one is out of play.
And you can see both teams, like both guards, if Isabel Borlase gets that ball screen and they're sending her away from it, icing that screen, she's going to snake dribble back, and then she's going to cause a switch, and then the big's going to be on Borlase Island. That's not necessarily where you want to be.
The population of that island is growing as well. There's some rapid expansion going on Borlase Island. Property prices are good, and there's plenty of keen investors. She loses it there. Can throws it inside. Griffin with another steal. She is a menace defensively tonight, is KG, as she has been for the first 250 games. Warung to the corner. Pollard shooting it with confidence. Liv Pollard knocks down another.
Sniper.
And I love her mindset. I missed the last one, but I'm shooting the next one, and it's going in.
Caught Keely Friday helping out that strong side corner. Beck, you know that's a no-no.
3 of 5 so far tonight is Liv Pollard. Bendigo were so keen to secure her services. They lent into youth in the off-season, knowing they wouldn't have Sammy Whitcomb and Veronica Burton. And that is a nice-looking stroke.
Known for her shooting. Good size, 6'2". It's hard to find lefties that can't shoot for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Mornington Peninsula product, and a connection with Kennedy Kiriyama for a while before she ended up in Bendigo, and making good of her opportunity now, and just continuing to keep rolling up into double figures now is Liv Pollard. Nicholson back the other way. Gee, that normally drops at home. Round and out for Loz Nicholson. That was cruel. Bendigo out by 13 again. It's their equal biggest lead of the game. Thompson almost poked it away from Reese. They will feed the hot hand here. Pollard's got it going. 10 points in the game. Outside. Borlase, 3-ball. Bang! Another drops for Bendigo. Out by 16.
And Damon, you said it earlier, but the ball movement by Bendigo, someone's driving into the key, drawing to, making the extra pass. They're hitting the right shots right now.
Yeah, the Flames got to do a better job of guarding their own yard without needing help get themselves in the rotations. If Unique Thompson hits her mid-range, Jay, she got to get herself going.
Flames need to get themselves going, particularly on the defensive end. Bendigo shooting it very nicely from the field, and Pollard just continues to impress. She's up to 12 in the game.
Come on, Liv. The face-up game is tough.
It's been a great performance. First time in double figures, so she had 2, 6, 5, 2 and 5 before tonight in games, and went scoreless 3 times.
But when you're that tall and have a shot release that high, it is so hard to stop. But what I love is, you know, Tolo is out. She's not coming back for the rest of the season. She goes, I'm going to start tonight, and I'm going to grab this opportunity with 2 hands. And she is doing so good tonight, but her mindset is what is most impressive.
So 15 points on the season before tonight. She's got 12 in 16 minutes.
Don't you dare get in foul trouble, Liv. Please.
And we spoke about who was going to fill in and fill that void. Liv Pollard's played her role superbly in the early part this evening. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry, Carly Wilson with you. Friday Night Hoops here in the WNBL. Bendigo out by 14. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in this second period. That is swatted by Swain, who was having none of that from McConnell. Relocates the corner and the long tool drop. Everything coming up Bendigo.
What a block by Swain, but McConnell just to keep on with the play.
Swain comes right back the other way with a triple.
Swain train needs to get going.
Does it ever? I thought Shanice played a very mature, conservative game 48 hours ago, but I like to see her just go hell for leather in this particular one.
6.6 assists, 2 of 6 shooting last time out for Swain. Turnover on that possession from the Spirit.
6 shots is not enough for a girl with that much talent, that much scoring ability.
We've been saying that about a few players this season, haven't we? Jade Melbourne's been in that bucket a little bit at various times of the season. We just want to see them let their abilities really shine. Thompson, that is where she shines.
And those two just have a really great connection, whether it's pick and roll, looking for each other within a play, especially in transition. I'd like to see right now with who's on the floor, those two look at some two-man game options, because who do you defend? You're making the defender have to decide.
Pollard for another. Not that time. Even their misses are good at the moment, the Spirit.
It was a pass.
It's an assist, exactly.
But you're right, Beck. They're going to put Kelsey Reeves in these ball screens, and Unique Thompson can take advantage. It's just experience.
Frolling inside, see some bodies. That'll stay with Sydney.
Kelsey Reeves' time is coming. Make no mistakes about that. But right now, she's just young and inexperienced when you compare her to someone like Unique Thompson, Katie Frawley. Now, I'd like to see them maybe attack more often.
Had an injury at the start of the year that meant she missed a lot of their pre-season too, Kelsey Reeves, so had to play her way back into some game shape. Again, another in her first pro season coming out of college. Oh, Swain tried to be a little bit too inventive there and probably could have just coloured within the lines. And another turnover. That is 12 turnovers in the opening half for the Sydney Flames.
What do you think Kennedy was saying there? Great job, Liv. Keep doing what you're doing, girl.
No, he's saying, sorry, I took you out of the game. My bad.
Booth, Simpson, Borlase, Griffin and Reese out there for Bendigo. Morgan, Swain, Minopu, Froling and Thompson out there for Sydney. This will stay with the blue and gold.
And Griffin's not out there right now, but one of the key matchups for me is Griffin versus Thompson. Thompson's only on 6 points. 4 of them she's got when Griffin isn't in the game. And she's been consistent for the Flames with 15 points a game she's been averaging. So she needs to get going and look for her right now while Griffin's not on the... Oh, that's why they subbed her in. She was getting going.
Froling left that one short. KG comes up with the rebound. So Griffin in the early going has 5 points, 6 rebounds, 5 steals.
Good Lord.
Oh, triple-double what?
Oh, could triple-double, 5 by 5 game as well.
She averages a double-double of 10 points, 10 rebounds a game.
Wait, she wakes up with a double-double. Like, she just rolls out of bed with a double-double on her. 13-point lead to Bendigo, 42-29. A minute and a half remaining in this first half. And this lead has swung. Bendigo are out by as many as 16 on a couple of occasions. Sydney have fought their way back to single figures. They're just holding it at 13 at the moment. Of course, the giving season is coming up, and why not give a little bit of the passion of the WNBL with a range of merchandise you can get your hands on. Hoodies, tees, track pants, shorts, designed for the true WNBL fans. You can head to WNBL.com.au to shop the collection and rep the W. And I reckon, Damon, we'll have you in the WNBL shorts before season's end.
I need some mediums. I need an extra large hoodie.
I think you'd look good in them black shorts, David, with all that running you'd be doing.
Yeah, I need to get something to stop all the chafing that's going on.
How many Ks today?
That's a cheeky 15.
Nice, that's solid, that's good gear. So scan the QR code on screen to get involved. If you need a gift idea for a loved one for whom the WNBL is a loved one, potentially. 42-29. 1:33 remaining in this second period. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry and Carly Wilson with you, of course. Plenty more action coming up to close out round 7. This game tonight. Doubleheader tomorrow, Canberra and Perth. So Han Shu, the first time we see the new Perth import. And then Townsville and Southside as Kayla George continues to make history and goes into all-time third games played in the competition. Bendigo then welcome Adelaide back to Central Victoria on Sunday. That's the early game at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time to close out this round of hoops. Swain back the other way off the Griffin miss. Griffin pulls down that miss. KG's up to 7 rebounds in the game.
Nobody's going to catch Kelly Wilson's game record, surely.
She's ridiculous.
You have to live another lifetime.
It's incredible what Kelly Wilson had been able to do in her stellar career as ball ace from outside. Cheerio to Cal. Likely watching at home with Michael and the kids. 42 seconds left here in this first half. Bendigo by 13. Sydney have struggled at the offensive end. 12 turnovers has limited what they've been able to do as Izzy Morgan steps up and knocks down another. And she's really impressed for Guy Malloy in the last little while. It's turned into quite the find.
She just comes on the floor, brings a boost of energy. She's up and in defensive pressure. And then on the offensive end, she can get to the rack, shoot the three with time and space. With how young she is, she's so confident. We see there a bit of miscommunication. Simpson goes to go under the screen. They don't get the switch. And she reads the play perfectly. And that's what you want from your young women coming into this league.
Turned 23 in the middle of last month, of course. Played a college ball at Davidson and has had a lot of really good teammates through Australian under-19 programs. Of course, played in a couple of loaded Gems teams as well. It was interesting hearing her speak to Carly pre-game as well, Damon. I mean, this sounds like someone who's really clear on their role. Come in there off the bench, lead that second unit, and provide that energy that Beck talks about.
Yeah, and like she said, she played some point guard in college, so this isn't unfamiliar to her. Obviously, at the professional level it is, but you can just see how vibrant she is, her energy. So I'm glad to see her. I'm happy to see her come out this aggressive like this and back herself.
It's nice to know that there's some reliable guards that have come out of Davidson over the years.
Yeah.
I think there's been a couple that have done reasonable things in the basketball world.
And they like to let you know about it.
Yes, yeah. One particularly that's gone on to bigger things, and one that you and I know very well in our local region, shall we say. See if we can get a top 15 of the graduates of Davidson over the last little while. Half a minute remaining in this first half. Bendigo 42, Sydney 32. Simpson, Warung, Griffin, Ball-Ace and Pollard, the lineup to close this first half. Pollard's got 12 points, having scored 15 in the entirety of the season to this point. And she get a couple more here. She's going to shoot the three. Not that time for Liv Pollard.
Dodged the bullet. Unique helping out of that corner.
Sydney will get the last look. Morgan brings it up the floor, whips it cross court. It's a really nice pass. Emma Nopu to beat the buzzer. Can't hit. And Sydney have eaten that into that quarter-time lead. But they still trail by double figures at the half. 32-42, 12 turnovers in that first half. The limiting factor for Sydney. And defensively probably hasn't been quite where they would have wanted either, Beck.
No, the Bendigo Spirits scout, I can see from watching this game that they are executing that, whether it be individual personnel or team. And for me, the Sydney Flames need to go into this halftime break, be like a chess player. Okay, how do we counteract this option? And they needed to come out positive, energy, get stops that can flow into their offense.
Absolutely. Let's get to the star of the show. Liv Pollard had a big first half, and she's with Carly.
Well, Pollard, we were wondering who was going to step up in Mariana Tololo's absence, and you have certainly answered the call. 12 points from you so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, it's big shoes to fill, but I'm trying my best.
You guys are playing really well. Everything seems to be going your way. What do you think will be the message at halftime from Coach Kennedy?
Yeah, I think a few things. I think getting more flow on the offensive end. I think we're a little stagnant and not getting our flow in our movement. And I think they're a really good rebounding team, so boxing out and then on turn, us crashing and putting some pressure on them in that way, and then defense always comes back to our defense. That's really the core of our group, so continuing to bring the energy, bring the spark on defense.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
I've got to like what Liv Pollard's doing to half-time. It is the Bendigo Spirit by 10 at the half. All the analysis on the other side of this. We'll find out a little bit more about Meg McConnell's jersey to the WNBL as well. It is Bendigo 42 to Sydney 32, half-time on Friday Night Hoops.
To McConnell, feet set, and then steals it away from Froling. Take two.
Oh, wow.
You know Sammy Whitcomb. I was teammates with her, and the opportunity presented itself, and she got in touch with the coaches at Bendigo, and they said they wanted to get me here, and I really didn't know anything about the WNBL, and I trusted Sammy, and she told me that I would love it here, so I just kind of took her word for it, and then I signed with them, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. I would describe myself as a very gritty player.
The things with Meg is she's always going to give you effort on the defensive end and rebounding. But she's a very, very good player, and so, you know, hopefully we can continue to build on that with her.
I feel like over here in Australia, they really develop and put time in with you, and they want to see everybody grow, and I think that's really special. Come March, we're going to be a championship team and hopefully go back to back, and that's what I came here to do. And so hopefully it all comes together.
Them's fighting words from Meg McConnell in our halftime package. The Spirit will have come out swinging here against the Sydney Flames on Friday Night Hoops. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry with you. It is Bendigo by 10 at the half. Let's take a look at our halftime match stats. What are the numbers? Tell us, you two.
12 turnovers for Sydney Flames shows that they need to look after the ball. But also for me, the field goal percentage from Bendigo Spirit, 43%. It's proving that their shot selection is key.
And it's because of those offensive rebounds is giving those extra shot opportunities because everything else is fairly even. So now it's just going to come down to, can they clamp down, take care of the basketball, and get some of their studs more involved. Lars Nicholson, I'm looking at you, and Katie Frawley.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a shot-making exhibition in that first half. Nicholson started really well, had limited really good opportunities. This from Izzy Borlace was pretty wild to beat the shot clock buzzer at one point. Kelsey Griffin had one later on, and early on Sydney had the answers, but those turnovers just continued to mount on them.
It really did, and down the other end, the Spirit were just executing plays and punishing them with their shooting ability. But again, the extra passes for good shots to great shots for me is a big difference.
And they've got a contribution, Damon, out of almost everyone who stepped on the floor so far, Bendigo.
And that's what they need to do, too. In the absence, when you lose a major piece like Mariana Tolo, you can't cover that with one person. So everybody's got to do that little bit extra. And right now, they've all bought in. It's like they knew this was coming. So now credit to them so far the way they're going about this first half.
Indeed, they have, of course. No Mariana Tolo, who we won't see for the rest of the season due to pregnancy, which is great news for her, and they will keep their options open, I'm told, as well, on the import front, Bendigo, to maybe sign a replacement. At the moment, though, they've got the youngster who stepped in to replace the shoes, Liv Pollard, with a career-best performance in that first half. 12 points, shooting it with confidence and leading the way for the Spirit Beck.
And she said she had big shoes to fill, but she's ready for them, and boy, has she been great on the offensive end. Shooting threes, having the confidence and mindset to be aggressive, but again, those turnaround jump shots, Damon, ooh, they've been nice.
Yeah, the face-up game is nice. The three ball is nice. I mean, she's got the size. She's a mismatch for a lot of people. What do you do with her? And she's not scared to go inside. So, in very impressive first half. Stay out of foul trouble. Make sure the coach don't sub you out for no reason. And this could be a 25-point game.
Highly regarded coming out of college and doing some really nice things is Liv Pollard. So we like to see that. We love to see young players getting their opportunity and stepping up. And I mean, really, the Sydney Flames probably need a little bit of the same. They need someone to come in. We've seen Morgan do a little bit so far. We need some more from the Sydney Flames here in this second half if they're to fought their way back into this ball game. They're down by 10 as we go to half-time. Second half is on the other side of this.
And I love it. Want some more? I'm up in my zone, touching the sky, feeling the flow, and I love it. And I love it.
All right, everybody, we want you back here for our next game at Key Center, when we take on the Adelaide Lightning on Sunday, the 14th of December. When we have a little something special coming your way, it is Crazy Hair Day. Thanks to Salon Warehouse, we encourage everyone to wear their best crazy hair for your chance to win. Sunday, the 14th of December, against the Lightning here at Key Center. We'll see you here. We'd also like you to be a part of the Flames family if you're not already. Become one of the members now, and all you have to do is get online and do it. You get access to the games, invites to member events, discounts on merch, and you're part of the family. Become a member today for just $39. Mark your calendars. Our Pink Hoops doubleheader is coming up Sunday, the 25th of January, as we take on the Perth Lynx, who will include Chinese superstar Han Shu. It's followed by the Kings taking on the Adelaide 36ers. This year, $2 from every ticket will be donated to the McGraw Foundation.
Hello, does this sound any better? I might talk like this.
Now, let's find out what our Flames get up to when they're on the road.
Second half about to get underway in the Key Centre in Sydney. It's Bendigo by 10 points at halftime, leading the way at the moment. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry with you in commentary. And Carly Wilson's alongside someone who's seen a lot of WNBL basketball in the last little while. Pretty influential in doing so, Sandy Brondello. Carly.
Sandy, it's so great to see you at another WNBL game. We want to talk WNBL with you. So from your vantage point overseas, what's excited you the most about the momentum that WNBL is really generating right now?
Yeah, look, obviously with new ownership, I think that really did start with that because the investment starts at the top here. And look, all the opportunity these players are getting, it's way more professional. Obviously, we got, you know, branding of it, more visibility. And the players are really, they're competing at a really high level. So it's great to see.
Yeah. So the league's taken some really major steps forward with the new ownership, as you were saying. So what impact do you think that that's having already?
Look, I think, you know, basketball's a global game, isn't it? It's played all around the world. There's so much more investment being put into women's sport. And it's great that we're, like I talk about, we're on TV way more, aren't we? Yes. And that's what it's about. But making it more professional. You know, the new CBA, we're raising the standard of the league where how players can actually focus on being the best player that they can be.
Yeah. And what about the logo? So we unveiled the awesome new logo to some of your Opals players and they loved it. What was your reaction?
Oh, I think it's great. You know, I think when you're starting with new ownership, you kind of have to have a real rebrand. And I think it's very catchy. It's very modern. You know, and that's going to resemble, this is what the WNBL is about. We want to make sure that we're in the front. You know, everyone's talking about us. We've got the best players, you know, playing in Australia in the best league.
Well, you've played and coached all around the world, and we've got some great talent here right now in the WNBL. So, you know, what's really standing out the most to you, talent-wise?
Well, I think the skill level continues to get better and better. I think they become more athletic, more physical, you know, and they're competing at a high level. You know, it's teams. The coaches are getting better and better too. So it's all about the whole product there. So it's exciting. So I'm excited to watch it grow, not just this year, but for years to come.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, and it's wonderful to have you back on home soil. Good luck for the Opals ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carly Wilson and Sandy Brondello there. I thought they were about to just check into the game with how close in proximity they were to the players there. I'm sure both of these teams would do with the services of Carly and Sandy.
Sandy could definitely knock down a jump shot right now in game.
What about Carly? Come on.
Carly get you some rebounds, get on the rim.
Willow's a gazelle. I feel like you could put a ball in her hand right now. She'll be doing Willow things.
Yeah, 100%. Great to have her courtside with us this evening. 42-32. Bendigo over Sydney as we get started here in this second half. Bendigo looking for a 6th win of the season. But the Flames started off in style. Shanice Swain up to 6 in the ball game. And that is a very nice way to get going here in this second half.
Did you see how she didn't hesitate for a second? That's what I like. You got to come out here. You got a chance to win 2 straight. And you can't, you know, they let the game come to them. They got off to a slow start to start the game, but now it's time. You got to step this up.
And they need someone to go along with Loz Nicholson and provide some scoring support. Maybe Swain could be the player. Nicholson leads them with 8 points. Morgan's got 5, Froley's got 5, Thompson's got 6, Swain's got 6. They haven't had anyone really grab the game by the scruff of the neck so far, Sydney. As McConnell goes across the lane. Glad to hear a little bit more about her at halftime and her journey through Sammy Whitcomb to find her way in Bendigo. Of course, teammates at the Phoenix Mercury, and Pollard's doing it on both ends.
And running the floor, finish it.
Little scoop shot won't go, keeps it alive. Offensive board. So contributing in all facets is Liv Pollard. Starters back out there for both of these teams to get us going in this second half. Griffin tosses that one up wildly at the rim. Shot clock expires on Bendigo.
And that's a great defensive possession from the Sydney Uni Flames, as we see Pollard doing it at both ends of the court. But they're the stops the Flames need in order to get going at the offensive end.
Froley from outside. That one's short. Griffin with another rebound. It's rebound number 7, or number 8, I should say, for KG. As Werung attacks the closeout. Just smoked the layup. Nicholson inside. Griffin's gone the volleyball spike on Thompson there and called for the foul.
Sydney is just hanging around. Nice pass from Laws, and ooh, that looked like a whole bunch of leather.
Didn't look like a lot of high-fiving there between Thompson and KG.
Nick will take it. Anything to kind of get the scoreboard ticking over for him.
But the Flames will also have confidence that they were down to Geelong Venom for majority of the game, came back and won. So they know if they stick with it, go to the basics, execute their X's and O's, then they'll be good. They can still be in this game. So they've started this second half really well.
Started or trailed by double figures in the final quarter of that game as well, and frankly didn't look like it at certain times, and still managed to grind that one out. What can they do here? They've got the margin back to 5. Ball Ace has that one roll off the rim, and they can get it back to a single possession here on this trip. Nicholson almost loses it. 12 turnovers in that opening half for the Sydney Flames. It's been their Achilles heel thus far. Swain puts it on the floor. Gets some separation from Ball Ace. Falling away and falling over. Can't hit. It stays alive, and Thompson pushes it home to make it a 3-point game.
And I know Flames scored there, but I think I really have to shout out Izzy Ball Ace. That was some great defense on Swain. Not only has she been playing really good O's, shooting the right shots tonight, she's played some great one-on-one defense, keeping her hands out, her body in front, and she's been making it really hard for the likes of Nicholson and Swain.
Yeah, she's not a one-dimensional player, is she? Play both ends of the floor. Her offense is just that good that her defense doesn't get the credit it deserves.
Right in the thick of MVP contention this season is Izzy Ball Ace. Doing some remarkable things after coming to Bendigo this season. Griffin tried to pass out of the double team, and they have just turned the wick up defensively here in this second half of the Flames.
You can see Sydney off the ball defense. When that pick and roll happens, they are swarming the roller.
Wearing the inbound from the baseline. Tosses it up high for McConnell. Float game is strong from Matt McConnell.
That is a tough finish.
First points of the half for Bendigo breaks an 8-0 run to start the frame for the Flames.
And key matchups, Loz Nicholson, Izzy Ball Ace, 2 Australian Opals. We have second in the league with Ball Ace in scoring, third in the league with Nicholson. Both putting on an absolute show tonight. What talent we have in the WNBL.
You have players of their calibre out there every night. Can sticks the jump shot. 3-point game again.
Nick is making them pay. They're sagging off.
And up to 5 points. Thompson's got 10 to lead Sydney. Pollard goes underneath and stay with Bendigo.
Oh, Beck, I'd love to see her shoot that little floater. Had a nice shot fake, put on the floor. A little bit too tight for that pass. The spacing wasn't there, but...
And that's what she'll develop into her game. Once you start knocking down those threes, then you get the long closeouts you see there. Now she can develop that next dribble J.
Both teams shooting 39% from the field. Is Werung at the buzzer! Abby Werung beats the shot clock.
Oh, even that hurt my heart, David.
Back the other way. Cairns three's offline. McConnell will be let loose in the open floor. Pollard lines another one up. Why not when you're shooting it like she is? She has matched her career points tally just this evening.
Splash.
Nicholson passes out from the baseline. Thompson will set the screen here for Can. Thompson on the pop. Frolling underneath, pulls it down, and is fouled by Pollard.
Great job on offensive glass by Kaylee. Getting those extra possessions. That's her 8th rebound of the game.
Foul was actually on Kelsey Griffin, so she's got 2. Pollard's got 3. Got Kelsey Reese in support. Let me take a look at the Amy replay.
Just when you forgot about Abby Warung, she had a quiet first half, only took the one three-point shot, but we all know what she can do from downtown.
Epitomises 3 and D. Does Abby Warung, doing it for a long time in the WNBL. Keely Froling at the line. Splashes in a couple of free throws with a minimum of fuss. Bendigo 50, Sydney 43. Friday night hoops here in the Harbour City. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry, Carly Wilson with you. And the offensive foul, this time on Kelsey Reese.
And again, Izzy Morgan coming into the game, applying pressure, getting over those screens and forcing Reese into that offensive foul.
McSpadden out there now with Morgan, Nicholson, Froling and Thompson. Connell wants to push the pace for Bendigo. Warung lines up another triple. That one's a bit strong. Pollard with the offensive rebound. Ball ace, Reese out there with those three for Bendigo. Ball ace puts it on the floor. And he's fouled on the way through.
How would you sum up Izzy Borlace's game so far today, Beck?
I think she's let the game come to her. I don't think she's been forcing shots. Again, they've been icing her on screen, so it hasn't been as easy for her to get her usual buckets, but I think she's consistently moving. She hasn't stayed stagnant, but I think she can really look to that jump shot.
She got the 10 points at the half. We're gonna have 11 because she's not missing 2 in a row. But yeah, they made a focal point to make sure that she doesn't get off the chain. And I think Sydney's done a pretty good job, but I gotta credit Izzy too for, like you just said, not rushing anything.
12 points in the game for Ball Ace. 51-43. Tick toward halfway gone here in this third period. Shanice Swain for 3. That one's short. McConnell pulls down the rebound. Reese runs the middle of the floor. Spadden makes sure that she can't see the rock, and then McConnell kicked it to Nicholson. Almost got it back. Nicholson dives on the loose ball to keep it in Sydney's hands. Good desperation from the two of them.
And the Flames have done a better job with turnovers. They had 12 at the half. They still only have 12. So this has helped them get back in the game by looking after the ball.
Bendigo with 2 so far in this half in that category. High rebounding game. Sydney shooting 35%. Bendigo 41%. Flames 6 of 17 from outside. Bendigo 8 of 22 for their 36%. Bendigo 51, Sydney 43. Keely Froling steps to the line, of course. Hoops Fest is coming up 15th to the 18th of January, Australia's biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival. It is all about hoops, and it's taking over Western Australia. NBL and WNBL regular season action, the Hoops Fest Fan Zone, Hoops Fest Cup, Sneakerland events, and more tickets at hoopsfest.com.au, or scan the QR code on screen. Alan Iverson, of course, will be part of all the action out west. Great to have WNBL regular season action at RAC Arena. You were there last year, Beck. What did you make of the time that you were able to spend over at Hoops Fest?
I was. At that time, it was a little pre-season tournament we had over there, and I just absolutely loved it. It's all about the hoops culture, the music, the community, and honestly, having the NBL and WNBL come together, it was just a straight-out vibe, to be honest.
I can't wait to get amongst it.
Lighting up. Perth took over the CBD last year with all the activations. As again, Morgan doing a great job providing the hustle and heart for the Sydney Flames.
And Bendigo over the foul limit with 4 minutes to go on the clock. This is how Sydney get themselves back in the game. Kitty Frauden has been crashing the offensive glass, getting herself to the stripe. Sydney have all the momentum right now.
So Pollard's got 3 fouls in the game. So does Ball Ace. Griffin's got 2. Reese has got 2. So it's becoming a little bit of a problem for Kennedy Kiriana to manage the foul trouble among his bigs. Meantime, the Flames have cut that lead back to 4 again, and they continue to just make a nuisance of themselves here.
They do, and then I like that they're applying full court pressure out of a foul shot. Defense gets teams going.
And they're getting foul shots and they're knocking them down. They're 11 of 12 on the evening. They've had 8 in this quarter and hit all of them. Werung goes the full court pass. Oh, Griffin made it work, just couldn't finish.
And that was very fortunate for Bendigo because Shanice Swain had picked her pocket. Right there, would have had a layup, but slipped obviously in a sweat patch.
How's this from KG to almost make this play happen?
Again, it's just the effort from Kelsey on both ends, whatever it is, rebounding, being split line, hard hedging. She's always going to give you that every time she's out on the floor.
What would she like to play against, Kelsey Griffin?
My body would hurt. Trying to get a rebound, getting hit by screens. But what I loved as an athlete, I want to play against the best, which she was. But she's just an absolute pro about how she goes about everything. So for us to still have her playing in this league is amazing, and what a leadership and mentor that the rest of the Spirit girls have.
Yeah, she's a remarkable influence as Morgan knocks down the 3, and we are back to a 1-point game. Izzy Morgan helping drag the Flames back into this one. It is Sydney 50, Bendigo 51. We've got 3.5 left in the third.
It's all been on the defensive end. They've held the Bendigo Spirit to 6 points in 6.5 minutes. Now, is that good defense? Is that bad offense? Probably a little bit of both, but you got to credit the defense. They have taken them out. They've taken their best players out of the action, and they're getting up and down in transition. They're getting on the offensive glass. Everything's starting to turn their way.
And we said at halftime, that's what they needed to do. Go into the locker room, figure out your defense, and that's led to them executing well on offense. But we also saw in that last play there, Bendigo Spirit were in a 2-3 zone. Flames just hit a 3, Damon. Are you getting out of that zone or are you staying in it?
Oh, I might give it one more possession, but I gotta just make sure I identify the shooters. So they would be worried about Shanice Swain. They gotta pay Isabel Morgan the same amount of respect.
So Bendigo by 1, Sydney making an almighty run at it in this quarter thus far. And that is the latest bomb from Izzy Morgan to draw them back to only 1 point in arrears. They trailed by 13 at quarter time, 10 at halftime, by as many as 16 in the game. And just like they did on Wednesday, the Flames are making a habit of fighting their way back into a contest in which they look out of. Reese out there for Bendigo. Can't get that to go. Morgan the rebound. Carly Wilson, what did Guy Malloy have to say at that huddle?
Well, he called for his team to finish off plays defensively. He said we can't go back to what we were doing in the first half where we weren't playing the full 24 seconds on D and we were switching off and giving them another crack at it. He said everyone has to play the whole play and then box out strongly. No more O boards for Bendigo.
They've scored 9 of the past 10 points in the game of the Flames as Georgia Booth gets inside and was fouled, so she will step to the line.
Now this is the era of equal opportunity. Can't say I'm a huge fan, but that time Bendigo Spirit kept it real simple. They went inside, they saw that Kelsey Griffin had Agnes on her. So Kelsey's crab dribbling back. Takes the dribble, oh, no double coming, I'm gonna take another dribble. Once the double comes, now she kicks it out. Now Georgia Booth can attack a long closeout.
Bendigo 3 of 6 from the foul line. Sydney 11 of 12 at the other end. Georgia Booth 4 of 6 before that trip and gives away burgers. The code is W3. Jump on the WNBL app. Hit the burgers. Head to your New South Wales-based Hungry Jack's store before 6 o'clock tomorrow and tell them that Georgia sent you. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the third term, and the Flames are in front through Lara McSpadden.
In fact, they're winning. They're up. What a comeback.
They have trailed on a couple of occasions by 16 in the game, including in that second term. They had not led until this point, and now they've got a chance to really move things along. 2 minutes to go in the third. Nicholson, Eminopu. Morgan pulls it down, back to Agnes, who lays it home.
And now it's flipped. The momentum is Flames' way. They have been getting it done on the defensive end. Then we see Morgan with an offensive board. Back to Agnes. They are feeling it right now. We saw McSpadden get pumped up after her score. The fans are on their feet.
So Griffin's called for the offensive foul there.
I'm sorry. She didn't move. She didn't move a muscle.
So that is 3 on Kelsey Griffin. 54-51, minute 48 remaining here in the third. And the Flames have absolutely taken over the ball game. They have scored 11 straight points, and they are looking for more. Swain can't deliver, but Eminopu's there on the offensive glass again. Nicholson, Morgan can't connect. And that'll go back with Bendigo.
Bendigo looks like they're the team that played 48 hours ago. They look tired. They're late to the ball. And Sydney is just sending relentless pressure and assault on the offensive glass.
So they need to get a bit of a second wind in this ball game at the moment to the Bendigo Spirit. Rolling with Booth, Simpson, followed Ball Ace and Griffin at the moment. Nicholson, Morgan, Swain, Eminopu and McSpadden for the Flames. Minute 31 remaining. And the Flames have taken the lead for the first time in the game. Can Bendigo find a way to wrestle the momentum back and break an 11-0 run in terms of scoring? Ball Ace gets the call. Got sandwiched between Morgan and Nicholson.
Now, that was a real good setback. I was just thinking, you got to get Izzy Borlase involved. I mean, so she came off this screen, got downhill, put pressure on the defense, and drew a foul, got herself to the strike. This is one of the best scorers in the league, so we cannot have her just shooting 7 shots.
Makes it a 2-point game with the first foul shot. Snaps an 11-0 run for the Flames. It took them from 8 in arrears to 3 in front. Now Bendigo trail by 1. Joel Peterson alongside WNBL champion Beck Cole, NBL champion Damon Lowry.
Doing it at both ends of the floor. Ball Ace strong off 2 feet.
Bendigo back in front.
Ball Ace has been great on both ends of the floor today, and I think that's what's kept her offensive game going. Now, like you said, Damon, I'd like to see more offensive options for Ball Ace.
Might be takeover time for Izzy. They're both doing it. Izzy's are everywhere at the moment. Ball Ace at one end, Morgan at the other. She's into double figures with 12.
That was...
Sorry, Beck. This is why Agnes is on the floor late in games, late in quarters, just getting extra possessions.
That was their 14th offensive rebound. They've been doing it great in this quarter.
Wearung no good. Griffin almost pulls it down. Morgan does come up with it. Time winding down in this third period. A term in which Sydney scored 24 points to Bendigo's 13. They've taken the advantage in the ball game. Can they ram it home here? Nicholson to the baseline. McSpadden, no. But it will be Sydney who lead going into 3/4 time. They came from 16 down in the second term. And they lead with a quarter to play, 56-55. We had overtime on Wednesday. We could be in for a thrilling finish here. Don't go anywhere. It's the Flames by 1 with a quarter to play. The Sydney Flames taking over the ball game at three-quarter time. They scored 24 points to 13 in the quarter, led by as many as 3 after trailing by as many as 16. And they are a point to the good as we turn for home in this one in Sydney on a Friday night. Sydney 56, Bendigo 55. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Beck Cole and Carly Wilson with you. Great to have your company here in the WNBL in round 7. And the Spirit will almost start the second half with a turnover. Damon, you just noted Loz Nicholson has 8 points to this point in the game. She was the hero on Wednesday night in the second half. She's only taken 6 shots.
Joel, I wasn't going to harp on it, man, but you're leaving me no choice. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, they are playing good basketball as a team and have a lead. But what would the lead be like if Loz Nicholson was more involved in the offense? She's very unselfish, a little bit too unselfish for my liking. I just know what she's capable of, and that is good team defense by the Flames.
It's a winning brand at the moment. It's going really, really well. That is a nice start to this final term for the Sydney Flames. Simpson comes out for the Bendigo Spirit. So Sydney by 1. Let's check in courtside. Carly Wilson.
Team, it is so loud courtside right now. I'm having all sorts of trouble hearing anything because the crowd is so engaged in this game. But I can tell you, both timeouts then were very defensively focused. In Sydney, they said, look, we're playing great D, let's keep it up. Our defensive talk has really lifted. Let's make sure we continue that in the 4th. And for Bendigo, he was really persistent with, we want to stick with our defensive assignments. Try not to switch. If we can stay with the people we're trying to stop, let's stick with them. But can we just talk a little bit more about Kelsey Griffin? I know we like to talk about her, but she is that good. We can continue. She is someone that only has one level, and that is 100%. Every second she's out there, she's giving 100%. So it's hard here. Do you give her a bit of a break early so she's got enough gas in the tank to finish it out? It's a difficult one without Mariana Tolo out there.
Indeed it is. Thanks, Carly. Connell got fouled going to the lane.
For mine, Carly, I just got to play her. I mean, I can't be, we're down 3. Different if they had a lead, the Spirit. But right now, scoring is dried up a little bit. I need Kelsey on the floor.
They do play again Sunday, so they've got to travel before they play again Sunday. I know I'm asking the wrong person here, but does that influence the decision in any way, Dan?
There is no tomorrow, Rock. There is no tomorrow.
Beck, would that influence your decision?
No, I agree with Damon. You need her on the floor right now. You need to get a lead. She can have breaks in a timeout, at foul shots. She's a pro. She'll call her own sub if she really desperately needs one. But at the moment, you need her on both ends of the floor because she's getting stops just like that.
Well, I was onto something conflating you two earlier tonight as Ball Ace races up the floor, lays that one home. And Bendigo back on top by 1.
And Izzy just quietly up to 17 points, had 10 at the half. She's an accumulator.
26 against Perth on Sunday as Swain slashes inside and she gets fouled. So Shanice Swain will go to the line, and certainly a better decision-making process perhaps than the last time she got a shot on the offensive end of the floor as she makes her way all the way inside to the cup.
And the Flames' energy and intent on the defensive end has been amazing. But can they stick to the simple rules that they've been doing really well? And again, for another 8 minutes, will that fatigue from the game 2 days ago come in? But right now, it's neck and neck. And we're in for a good 8 minutes left of this quarter, gentlemen.
Indeed we are, Beck. Of course, the WNBL app, the place to go for all your live scores, video content, and more this season. Scan the QR code on screen or download it from your app store. Best way to stay across everything that's happening in this competition this season through the WNBL app. We are tied. Swain splits them at the line. Tied at 59 as McConnell races up the other end and lays it home and can go to the line to add one more and add to what has been a very productive night for the import guard.
And that is an impressive finish, but that other half a point goes to Kelsey Griffin on that roll for keeping her man out of that play. That was just great execution.
13-9-4 for Meg McConnell. Can't add the bonus. Will keep it alive. She's got a double-double and another trip to the line.
And they're the plays that can hurt you down the stretch, Damon. An offensive board off a free throw is a cardinal sin.
I was just going to say, what kind of sin, Beck? Cardinal sin.
But the effort from Meg McConnell there, fighting for it, getting it up, and now she can go back to the line for two.
Agnes Eminopu there, of course, played a college ball at Stanford. It's especially a cardinal sin if you let someone get an offensive rebound off a free throw there, Damon.
Nice work by you, Stanford Cardinals. Nice work.
McConnell. This is the first free throw. Pulled up a little bit sore there. Might have just copped a knock to the hip by the look of things. She's made a tough start first season down under. Misses both. Georgia Booth already gave away burgers this evening. Meg McConnell just making sure of it for the locals here in Sydney.
They can get a double cheeseburger, folks.
This could have been a 5-point lead. It is only two, 61-59. Quarter of the way through this final frame. Now Sydney's offense a little bit stuck in the mud. Can Morgan rescue it? Tosses it off the glass. And that'll be waved away for a 24-second clock violation.
You called it, JP. Very stagnant offense. Everybody was standing around. Ended up getting a bad shot. Execution got to be at a premium.
Pollard back into the game now for Bendigo with 15 points to her name. Ball Ace has 17 to lead all scorers. Morgan's got 12. Thompson's got 12 for the Flames. Nicholson 8, Froling 9, Swain 7. Connell's got 13. Griffin just the 5 in the game for Bendigo. He's 2 of 8 from the field, so hasn't had a great shooting night. On the bench at the moment is KG. It's McConnell taking over. That one goes around and out. Thompson rips down the rebounds. And Kelsey Grease gets a little bit of a taste of what it's like to face up against Unique Thompson.
And Beck, you probably see it. They run a staggered double out of that strong side corner. Then they go into a ball screen on the empty side. That time it was Kelsey Reese involved in the action. Previously, it was Kelsey Griffin. I like that because that takes the help away.
It sure does, and I love what they've done with bringing Meg McConnell off the ball so she can use those pick and rolls and let Abby Werung bring up the ball in that one position. Because then if you switch, there's more damage to be done with Meg in it rather than Abby.
Damon Lowry, Beck Cole breaking things down for you on Friday Night Hoops. Bendigo by 2. Sydney looking for a 4th win of the season. Bendigo to improve to 6-2 before they host Adelaide on Sunday. Flames come up empty on that possession.
Meg McConnell with a double-double, sitting at 13 points, but that's her 11th rebound, so she's also stepped up in that department with Tolo not being there.
Werung goes inside. Bendigo will keep it on the offensive end. Reese to Werung. Borlays with a bomb. No good.
Shot clock is running down. Izzy had to let that fly.
Now Nicholson sees it at the other end. Thompson on the block. Loses the handle.
Good hands by Kelsey Reese.
18th turnover. Bendigo with 12 steals to 4 in the game. They probably haven't taken full advantage of those opportunities though. McConnell wants to attack Froling. Kicks it out. Pollard, 3-ball is down. Another big hit from Liv Pollard. 18 points on the night. And Guy Malloy wants to talk it over with his team.
You hold that follow through, girl.
It's so quick.
64-59 off the back of 18 points from Liv Pollard on the Amy replay.
Izzy Morgan got lost in the sauce. Was out there in the key, hanging out in no man's land. And she's got the hot hand. Got there too late. And that's what we call cash back.
Cash money, David.
She came in 3 of 16 on the season so far, did Liv Pollard. And she has certainly cashed in from outside tonight. 4 of 8 on the evening from outside.
And JP, you say that the shooting percentage for her from the three has not been probably to what she has expected until tonight.
Certainly not representative of her talent by any stretch.
But every game that you watch, she's still putting it up, whether it's the right shot. She's never been a negative mindset because she knows the next one's going in. And what have we said? All it takes is one game to get her going, and tonight that's her game. And thank God, because the Bendigo Spirit are going to need Liv Pollard with Mariana Tolo out.
Yep, it is a real breakout performance from Liv Pollard tonight, and they've needed it. And they still find themselves right in the thick of a fight here because Sydney have made a couple of runs in this ball game, Damon, and this is a team that will not go anywhere.
Now, we've seen that. We got proof of that. Sydney's going to hang around. They got one more run left in them, I would think.
So 59-64, 5.5 remaining here in this final period. The Flames were the comeback queens on Wednesday night. Can they do it again to close out their contribution to round 7 here in the WNBL? Closeout being attacked there by Can. Couldn't finish. Bendigo up and running. McConnell has the feet set and sees it drop.
Is that the shot that could potentially be the nail in the coffin, David?
With 5 minutes to go, we are now officially in crunch time.
16-11 for McConnell.
Nick said, hold up a minute, JP.
Yep, Unique Thompson gets that to go. Carly Wilson, I'd imagine that would please Guy Malloy. What did he have to say that last time out?
He was very pleased in that last time out, but he did ask for earlier passes out of the on-ball screen. He said we've got to hit the roller much quicker. As you see another big 3 from the Bendigo Spirit. He also said when the ball does go into the post, we've got to get more movement, especially on the weak side.
Find themselves in a bit of a hole at the moment, the Flames, as Meg McConnell continues to impress. Thompson, long 2, around and out. And another rebound for McConnell.
Megan is on one.
Now Borlase in attack mode. Georgia Booth from the corner. No good. She had 21 against the Flames, her best scoring output of the season. Did McConnell. She's got 19, 12 and 5 in this one this evening. It's really leading the way for Bendigo here in this final term. Thompson's the target again for Sydney. Turnaround hook shot. It falls off the rim. Does a lap of honour and doesn't fall.
What I like from the Spirit right now, they're not playing safe, playing like they need to keep the lead. If they have a fast break or an open 3, they're shooting it just like that with that runner from Meg McConnell. They are not shy.
Equal season best, 21 from Meg McConnell. And Bendigo are out by 11. The first time since that early in that third period that they've led by double figures. 3:31 remaining here in this ball game. And Kennedy Kerryama's team has pushed that advantage to something that is getting very, very worrisome for the Sydney Flames now at 72-61. And Megan McConnell has been central to it all.
Yeah, I don't know what the pick and roll defense is. Unique Thompson just gave a just threw an arm out there. That was not anywhere near efficient enough. Megan is in a mood right now. Don't even ask us who the player of the game is, MVP.
And when you see that Liv Pollard is in that pick and roll with Meg, what does Unique Thompson do? You sort of hedge, you sort of don't, because Liv can hit the 3. Now that leaves McConnell open. These two ladies have stepped up tonight, and it's been pretty to watch in this fourth quarter.
Indeed they have. They're coming off a tough little run on their schedule. Bendigo having played Perth a couple of times in their last few, but they've got a little schedule coming up, and well, it must be fire season because it's just the Flames and the Fire pretty much every night from now. So as you saw on screen, 3 of Sydney's next 4 games are against Townsville, and they travel to Townsville twice. Bendigo, of course, were at home on Sunday. Their next home game after that isn't really a home game because they play Geelong in Ballarat. So Bendigo have got a couple on the road over the next little period. They've got away trips to Southside, and then they're down at the Venom in the Pivot City in a couple of weeks' time from now. What can Sydney do in this late game situation? Nothing will fall for them at the moment.
Now, JP, remember when I said that Loz Nicholson only had 6 shots?
Yep.
How long ago was that?
That was at the start of the quarter.
Damn it, she still only got 6 shots. It is just not enough with 3 minutes to go in the game. They got to make her more of a focal point. Different if everything was rolling and they had a lead. But she's way too offensively talented to go stretches like this without getting shots.
And even if it's not on-ball pick-and-roll options, do staggers, get away screens for her, more open off-ball actions, because she is so good moving off the ball as well as with the ball in her hand. But they're sending 2 people to her right now.
Guy Malloy's spoken a couple of times, and in that most recent press conference after the win against Geelong, about the fact that Loz Nicholson's been probably struggling a little bit with her body, and you wonder whether the fatigue off the back end of a double-header is playing some part in that. But as you say, Damon, she is far too good to only get 6 looks at it for the evening.
Also, sorry guys, she just had a baby and she's playing at the level that she is at and put the team on her shoulders so far this season. So I'm impressed that she is doing what she is doing right now. But again, more shot attempts for Loz Nicholson.
Yeah, it is. It's remarkable what she's been able to do. Of course, she came back with a bang with the Stumbling Sharks in the NBL 1 East competition. Lit that up from the minute she stepped foot on the court. Came out firing in this WNBL season as well. Georgia Booth is back at the line, having given away cheesies last time she was there. So she'll be hoping that fate doesn't befall her again.
Guy Malloy
this evening.
Yeah, and Guy will be feeling sick just giving up an offensive rebound to one of the smallest players on the floor. This is just a desire.
Playing really good minutes for Bendigo this season is Georgia Booth, 15 a game. Gets that one to fall, a shake of the head. 12-point lead for the Spirit at 73 to 61. Sydney have scored 5 points in this quarter. Bendigo's been able to add 18 in the same period of time. It is all slowed down for the Flames, and an offensive foul will not help the cause. 19 turnovers on the evening.
See, when you bring a ball screen into that, like Loz Nicholson could have went one-on-one, could have took Megan McConnell. Agnes came over and gave her a ball screen, which was not legal. But you're going to end up getting the ball out of her hands because she's going to likely get double-teamed. They're going to hard show. I would like to see her just isolated back.
Also, that's a similar size, so they could just switch or they're getting double. She's not really getting an action out of that. And again, she's crafty. She can go one-on-one. Give her space, because tonight, that's what she hasn't had, is the space to go to work.
2 games tomorrow, Canberra and Perth, Townsville and Southside. Sunday, Bendigo, Adelaide, as we said. So plenty more WNBL action coming your way across the course of this weekend in round 7. Nice hit-ahead pass from Pollard to McConnell. And Booth tosses it away. Nicholson on offense for the Flames. They need something and they need it quick. Izzy Morgan tries to provide the spark. Nice touch by Bendigo. Griffin's got 9 rebounds to go with her handful of points. McConnell with 21, 12 and 5 on the evening.
Not only does Sydney almost have to score every time down, they cannot foul anymore.
This time it's Morgan making the offense happen for Sydney. That's no good. Pollard with the rebounds.
And again, just a stagnant possession. Morgan going one-on-one, but no one else moving from where they were standing on that 3-point line.
Griffin now kicks it out. Ball ace, 12-point lead for Bendigo. 3 on the shot clock. Izzy Ball ace with the turnaround. Ices it for the Spirit. 14-point lead.
Got him with the run, though.
He did, big time.
And Nicholson back the other way is fouled. 14 points is that Bendigo advantage. Just 5 points in the quarter. And that is a pretty move from Izzy Borlase, who gets up to 19 on the evening.
The scoring package, it's a lot in it. Who holds their WNBA rights again? Is it Atlanta?
Atlanta Dream.
Atlanta Dream.
And that was a big reason why Izzy wanted to go to Bendigo. She wanted to really develop her game. That's why she also wanted to make herself feel uncomfortable off court. She moved to Vic to play with the Melbourne Tigers in the off-season. Wanted to try again, get away from home, give her that experience, and boy, has she been living up to it.
Spadden short-armed that one. And that one last touched by Flames. We'll go back with Bendigo, and it's been a great move for Izzy Borlase. She spoke about wanting to go to the WNBA when she feels ready. Oh, geez, she looks ready. She looks like she has really taken her game up to another level, and we know what she can do. She was so good a couple of years ago, particularly for Adelaide. She had a down year last year that wasn't, again, representative of her talent, but what a force she is in this competition, and still so young as well, Damon. And this is someone who's only 21 and only turned 21 earlier this year.
Yeah, I believe she's a December baby, so 22 years old, and she's got the package, she's got the maturity, she's got the strength, she's got all the tools. Now, you know, we all know how ruthless the WNBA is. It can chew you up and spit you out, but I feel like she's got the right stuff to give it a real crack.
22, Izzy Borlase. Not too far away, only a week or so. 9th of December. Swain misses that one.
5 points this quarter, Joel, for the Sydney Flames.
Yep, it is all falling in a heap for Sydney. This is something that they've been liable to do so far this season. Their offensive time has been absolutely unwatchable as Pollard has been a hit-a-minute tonight, and she joins Borlase and McConnell with 21 points. And again, it bears repeating, in 7 games coming in this season, she had 15 points total. An extraordinary breakout game from Liv Pollard tonight. Bendigo's lead is a game-high 19 points, and they have absolutely vaporised the Sydney Flames here in this final term. It has been an evisceration of the highest order, and they are looking for more to take away a real statement victory here.
Come on, Liv!
For another! Not that time. And Sydney will get the final say. But it all slowed down at just the wrong time for the Flames. Nicholson gets them one for the road. Bendigo will have the final inbound. We are just playing for accountancy at this time, just to make sure all the books line up at the end of the day. Coaches shaking hands. Kennedy Kiriyama will walk away with a victory. And the Bendigo Spirit challenged by the Sydney Flames, but they rise to the heat of battle and get their 6th win of the season, 80-64, with a dominant final term. They outscore Sydney 25-8 after 3-quarter time. Beck Cole, that was quite the final quarter performance from Bendigo.
It sure was. What a second and third quarter from the Sydney Flames. It was the second and third quarter that got them in the games, but it was the first and the last quarter that really had them on the back foot. And Bendigo Spirit, again, a young team with Tolo out. They played with such poise, and they were on fire in that last quarter.
Indeed they were. They really lit it up in that final term to walk away 16-point victors, a trio of players with 21 points. Izzy Borlase, Liv Pollard, and a huge double-double for Meg McConnell, 21 and 13, and she is with Carly Wilson.
Meg McConnell, what an impressive performance from you tonight. 21 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. You are getting it done everywhere.
Thank you. I just try, you know, we lost a big piece to our team in Tolo, and so I'm going to do whatever I can to help my team to continue this road that we're on.
I felt the Flames really pushed you in that second half, but your belief as a team just seems so strong right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're a very close-knit group, so I think what we do outside of basketball translate onto the court, so we have a lot of trust in each other, and, you know, Polly stepped up big for us tonight, and so I'm excited to see her keep building on that.
Let's talk a bit about her. So up until tonight, her career points were 15, and tonight she's ended up with 21, so just smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, I knew, you know, when one person goes down, like our team just steps up in big moments, and I knew Polly was going to take on that role, and we're going to need her to keep continuing to do that the rest of the year.
So for the next game, you're travelling back home, and you've got Adelaide at home on Sunday. How do you see that one playing out?
You know, Adelaide's a good team. We just played them not too long ago on their home floor, so it should be a pretty good game.
Well, best of luck, and thank you for putting on a performance for us tonight. You were wonderful, and yes, good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Meg McConnell with Carly Wilson. What a performance that she put on tonight. And I'll tell you what, it's been a good couple of days for the McConnells, because TJ for the Indiana Pacers the other night had 16, 7 and 6 against the Toronto Raptors. So the family is just padding the stats sheet at the moment, Damon.
Yeah, you can see that's a point guard family. And she came out, and like she said, everybody had to step up and do a little bit extra with the absence of Tolo. And she led from the front. That is what you want from your leader, your point guard. And she came out and led by example.
Hey, Beck, it is a hard league to play in a guard, right? And we've seen a lot of import guards over the period of time come in and get spat out, not being the right fit in this competition. But this woman, as we see her forward shot chart, she looks legit.
She does, and she has big shoes to fill with Veronica Burton, who really played such an important role for the Spirit. But we see here tonight, shooting at 47%, 50% from three-point territory, and that is what we know she can do. But what I really like is that the confidence you could tell in that post-game interview, she is someone who is going to need to step up big in the absence of Tolo. And I liked when Abigail Waring went in the one and let her roam free a little bit more in that shooting guard position.
It's a little bit of a different look for them tonight that they got. Meg McConnell, the beneficiary. Izzy Borlase with another big game as well, and she's with Carly.
So, Izzy, fantastic game from you guys. We were a bit concerned before the game. We were like, who's going to step up in Mariana Tolo's absence? But 3 of you with 21 points tonight. Fantastic effort.
Yeah, I'm just so happy, proud of the group. Like, Polly stepped up, Meg stepped up. Like, everyone played a part in our win, and I think that's what's exciting is that about our team is team basketball is winning us games.
And team defense, I mean, you held them to only 8 points in the fourth quarter. Is that something that you guys really focus on during the week at training?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe not having Tolu was a bit of a worry. She clogs up a lot of our mishaps, but I think, yeah, like again, team defense is winning us games. We knew the ball was going to be in Loz's hands and Shanice's hands, and just playing in and making sure they have to get rid of the ball. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you were wonderful tonight, so thank you so much for that wonderful performance, and best of luck on Sunday against Adelaide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Izzy Borlase with Carly Wilson just continues to put together a really, really impressive season. Another 21 tonight, so right on her scoring average just about for the season. Again, 6 rebounds, 4 averages across the course of the season. Another couple of steals tonight. She's putting herself right in front and centre in that MVP discussion, Beck.
She sure is, and for how young she is, she has so many tools in her bag. She's a 3-way scorer. I think tonight she really demonstrated as well that she's a 2-way player. Not only can she obviously have a great offensive skill set, but on defense as well, she shut down people.
There's the numbers, and again, it's pretty nice reading for such a young player, Damon, to be putting up these kind of numbers with this kind of consistency.
Yeah, she's an accumulator. She's so big time. 10 points at the half. You think, oh yeah, we kind of got her under control. She gets a quiet 11 points in the second half. You don't have to necessarily run plays for her because she can get you buckets in the open court. She can get you buckets in broken play. And she's just so rock solid. You look up at the end of the game, and then she got 20.
Yeah, plays like a woman above her years, that is for sure. Izzy Borlase. Bendigo big winners tonight. They get it done 80-64. An impressive performance across the board for the Bendigo Spirit. Meg McConnell and Pollard there you see on screen, each with 21. Borlase had 21 as well. And they take 6-2 on the season. And fight off the charge from the Sydney Flames. We'll continue to break it down on the other side of this. Massive final quarter for the Bendigo Spirit leads them to a 16-point victory. They outscored the Flames 25-8 in the final quarter. Couple of big performances from a few unsung heroes for the Spirit tonight, and they get it done to record their 6th win of the campaign. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Damon Lowry to break it all down for you in the aftermath. Of course, the Flames round 7 is done. They played on Wednesday. They got it done in a close one, and they got rolled tonight. Let's take a look at our second half highlights. As you said earlier, Beck, the Flames did such a good job to get back in front in that third term, having not led at any other stage in the game. But ultimately, Bendigo were a little bit too strong to finish.
They were. They just really showed their poise, their patience, and they still made the Flames turn the ball over 19 times, and they executed with 12 steals, and a lot of those, they went down on the offensive end in transition and made the right shots.
They have been at times a team that the offense has struggled. It really came along in that third term for the Flames, Damon, but then in the fourth quarter, it was a real tale of woe for them.
Yeah, it was. They forgot about their best offensive player, Lars Nicholson. So when the scoreboard dried up, it got real stagnant. There was a lot of standing around, middle ball screens, but yeah, they didn't go to their strength, who we just saw 48 hours ago go ballistic in the last quarter. So they'll be watching that tape, and they'll try to make sure that never happens again.
Yeah, so shoot 33% overall in the end. Plenty of rebounds. They did a good job on the glass tonight, did the Sydney Flames. They got 18 offensive rebounds of those 48, but the 19 turnovers proved really, really costly in the end for them. Let's take a look at what it means for the Bunnings ladder at this stage of the season. Of course, Bendigo, as we said, go to 6-2 so far on the campaign, trailing only the absolutely dominant Townsville Fire. And Sydney 3-7, having played more games than anyone in the competition so far, and they've got 3 of their next 4 against Townsville. So that's going to be a tough prospect.
It really is. You have to go in knowing what you're up against is absolute class. On any given night, it's anyone's opportunity to win. So they need to have that mentality of, this is what we're executing on the offensive end. This is what we want to do on defence. And we have to make sure that we're doing it to the best of our ability for 40 minutes.
Big recruit coming into this competition tomorrow. We see Hanshu for the first time for the Perth Lynx, which is going to be very, very exciting indeed. They take on the Canberra Capitals, who've had their struggles at different times this year, but we know the talent that they have got. So that is our early game tomorrow, 5 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And who knows, the Capitals could spring a surprise in this one, Damon. The Lynx are adjusting to a whole new way of playing.
Anything can happen in a 40-minute game of basketball.
Indeed, so that is going to be all kinds of fun. And then the late game tomorrow, a little bit more history for Kayla George when they take on the Southside. The Southside Flyers take on Townsville. 3rd all-time in WNBL games for Kayla George. Game 388 tomorrow, which is a remarkable effort.
It's an amazing milestone, and they're going to want to get their 2nd win against the Fire, but they're now back on their home territory, and the Fire will want to get revenge on their one loss that they've had this season.
The only team that's been able to take them down so far. There you see our results so far in round 7. Sunday, 12:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, 12 o'clock if you're in South Australia, or 9:30 out west. It is Bendigo and Adelaide to round out round 7 here in the WNBL. Bendigo a little bit too good tonight. They'll take winning form into that Sunday matchup, and there's some tasty clashes to come across the rest of this round. So looking forward to your company throughout. Thanks for your company tonight, you two. I got you mixed up at different occasions. We had all kinds of fun this evening, as did the Bendigo Spirit, who were challenged in the middle part of that game, but they roll away winners. They move to 6-2 on the season with a 16-point win over the Sydney Flames on Friday Night Hoops. Look forward to your company tomorrow for more WNBL action.